Auto-dubbed Sara was the daughter of one of the wealthiest men in the world. She had everything a person could ask for: luxury, attention, and the finest education. But there was one thing that no amount of money could give her: her voice. Sara was born mute, and for as long as she could remember, she had never spoken a word. It wasn't for lack of trying, but every doctor, every treatment, and every specialist failed to find a cure. Her father, a self-made billionaire, tried everything to help her. Despite his vast fortune and influence, he couldn't fix what seemed broken in his beloved daughter. The silence around Sara became a suffocating companion, something she learned to live with, but deep down it hurt her. No matter how much love she received from her family, no matter how rich her life was, she felt invisible, excluded from the world that seemed to speak so effortlessly around her. As Sara grew older, she became more resigned to her fate. Her silence was not just a condition, it was her identity. People treated her differently, sometimes with pity, sometimes with discomfort. They didn't understand the agony of being surrounded by sound, but never being able to contribute to it. The worst part was that even though she had so much to say, she had no way of doing it. One evening, after a long day of attending to business matters, her father entered her room. His face looked troubled, and he was holding something that caught Sara's attention. In his hand was a small glass bottle filled with a mysterious dark liquid. "Sara," her father began, his voice filled with an unusual urgency. "I know we've tried everything, but this could be different." He paused, looking down at the bottle, as if considering his next words carefully. "This liquid has been rumored to cure people with conditions like yours, to unlock the parts of your body that aren't working. It's from a source that has never failed. I know it sounds strange, but I want you to try it." Sara was skeptical. After all, she'd spent years visiting specialists, undergoing treatments, and trying every remedy in the book, all of which had failed. But something in her father's voice stirred a small glimmer of hope. "Maybe this time it would be different. Do you trust me?" her father asked. Sara nodded, her heart pounding. She knew there was no harm in trying one more time. She hesitated for a moment, but then, with shaking hands, she took the glass and drank the liquid. At first, nothing happened. Sara felt no different. But as the seconds passed, something strange began to stir within her. She felt warmth spread through her chest, and then an odd, tingling sensation filled her throat. It was as though her body was waking up in a way it never had before. Then it happened. For the first time in her life, Sara opened her mouth and words came out, clear, audible, and unmistakable. I can speak." Her father's eyes widened in disbelief. "Sara!" he whispered, barely able to believe what he was hearing. Sara didn't respond right away. She was too shocked, too overwhelmed by the sudden flood of sound that was coming from her. She had a voice. It was real, and it was hers. But as she looked at her father, something changed in his expression. He took a step back, his face draining of color. "Sara, we need to talk," he said, his voice now filled with fear. "This liquid, it's not just about helping you speak. It's something else." Sara felt the change, too. She could feel the power in her voice, stronger than she had ever imagined. Every word she spoke seemed to carry more weight, more force than before. The room felt charged, and her father seemed to shrink away from the intensity of the moment. Her father looked deeply troubled, his voice trembling as he spoke. "I didn't want you to know this, but the liquid wasn't just meant to help you communicate. It was meant to give you something far more dangerous, a power that no one can control." Sara was confused. "What do you mean?" she asked, the words feeling foreign and yet so natural. Her father's eyes searched hers, filled with regret. "It enhances your abilities beyond what anyone could have imagined. It amplifies your voice, literally and metaphorically. But with that power comes a great cost. You are not the same person anymore, Sara. You are something else." Sara looked down at her hands, feeling a strange surge of energy in her body. Her mind raced. What was happening to her? Was this really a gift, or was it a curse? As she tried to make sense of it all, her father's words echoed in her mind. "You must stop using it, Sara. You have to control it before it controls you." Sara felt torn. She had spent her whole life wanting to be heard. wanting to speak and be understood. But now that she had the power to speak, to command with her voice, she wasn't sure if it was worth it. What if it was too much? What if she couldn't handle it? She realized that her silence had been a curse, but her voice, her newfound power, was both a blessing and a danger. She didn't know if she could control it, but she knew one thing for sure. Life would never be the same again. How many more stories like this will it take before equality is more than a seat assignment? Tell me, where are you watching from? Take care.